By society standards, my grass really needs to be cut and has been for probably at least a week. But I don't feel like it. I haven't been feeling like it. That's bugged me. It's been on my mind. I'm also trying to get this old court stuff taken care of that I mentioned before. But to do that, I'm going to have to, because I missed a court date I didn't even know that I had. This is some stuff that from years ago, and I was homeless when it first started, and I wasn't even living here. I was living outside, and so I wasn't able to receive a letter and missed a court date. Got a failure to appear on that. Didn't know anything about it until recently when I found out about it, and then I missed another court date on it, and it's over a very minuscule charge. It's actually over several years ago, when I overdosed. I panicked and was just ready to end it all. I was going through a really, really, really rough time in my dark night of the soul at that time. And this was before my spiritual awakening. And I got a freaking drug paraphernalia charge. And it got like, I don't remember what it's called, but some kind of note on it. It was like, in case I lived, in case I survived, I was going to get this charge. And I survived. Woke up a few days later in the hospital. And didn't know anything about the charge. So that has been quite distracting and heavy on my heart, because I've got to pay this system. I'm sober and doing the right thing with everything in me, and have been for a long time now. And my truth is that working for money for these people, whatever company, and then paying taxes on that money, and then making the company I'm working for a bunch of money with my skills, my energy, and my work, that's all feeding a system that's just paying for our enslavement and paying for the enslavement of the world, really, because it just pays for the war and the trauma that we continue to pour on our heads by doing it. I don't want to fucking be a part of that system. I don't. And I've been hanging in, praying and hoping and knowing that any of these days now, a lot more people were going to realize what was going on, and that we would change the way we do things. And that has not happened to the scale that I thought it would have happened by now. It would be really great. I do know that the current president is bringing the chaos, as his sole mission says that he is supposed to, and that he is dismantling and crumbling the way anything and everything has been done, so that's good. But now, I've got the charge that I'm going to have to get taken care of, which means even though I was hoping everything would be different by now, it's not to that scale. And basically, to get this taken care of and get my name clear, I have to pay the government and shit some more. I've got to literally give them more and more fucking money so that they can use it the way that the jails and the Spectre Care like shit, you know, the drug class I'm gonna have to take and stuff. Even though I'm sober and all that, it's just they want money. Like, it doesn't, none of that matters. They just want money. And who knows? Maybe all of it could matter. If I go to court and talk to them, maybe things are different. Maybe in this timeline, they'll actually hear me out. And I don't know, maybe listen to some of the people that are in my life. No, if it's not my family, but I've got a lot of people in my life now that have my back and that know the way that I live. And I don't know if I can go into a courtroom and tell them. I know I can tell them that I was homeless when all of this started, is, you know, and I just was doing my best to survive. But my question is, can I tell them that I don't believe in the system and giving away all my energy to make someone else a bunch of money and to pay the government who is funding these wars? I went to court when this really all kicked off. It was because my wife at the time kept calling the police on me when I was just trying to see my son, and she was trying to tell them I was insane, that I needed to be hospitalized. I went to court. I got picked up. The first time I got picked up, I went to fucking jail on this old warrant that I knew nothing about. And then after a few days, I went to court and got out. I went to jail blind, by the way, because I had a fucked up pair of glasses and I really can't see at all without them. Quite blind, like negative 5.50 something prescription. And I did my time, went to court, got out, and just continued to do the best I could to survive. And I continued to try to see my son, but she called them again and again. And I saw them coming down the road one day, and so I was just like, hey, you looking for me? And they said they asked my name. So I willingly got in the handcuffs, got in the car, and went and had an emergency hearing to see if I needed to be hospitalized against my will. I did this, and I went in that courtroom and I told them exactly what I thought and my beliefs and such. And I mean, I had a courtroom full of people with their eyes like this, looked like a bunch of owls. You know, and while they're looking at me like that, I'm like, you guys believe in this Bible and Christianity and that Jesus is going to come back out of the sky and stuff. Like, who are you guys to say that you're right and I'm wrong? So, you know, and they brought up aliens and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, aliens. Who are you to say that there are not aliens? Like, what do you mean? So I did that in that courtroom, and they let me go. Obviously, the officer was like, I was like begging that judge to not whatever, because I didn't want to get struck by lightning. I was just like, oh my God. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm dealing with in my energy body at the moment.